This video was sponsored by One Nest Studios. Elevate your sound. If you're looking for a studio that is reasonably priced to record your music, podcasts, etc., then you cannot go wrong with One Nest Studios. Contact the number down below or the email address or visit their website for more details. Thank you. Hi, this is my video on the Smatree Smapole X1s. Now this is a foldable multifunction pole. Now this pole is unusual to the poles I normally review, in the way that this one, poles that I normally review, they extend out by pulling them out from the main stem, and they come out in sections, while this pole, you don't exactly pull this one out. This one folds out into sections, which then you have to tighten. Now the unique thing with this pole is that you can set up this pole into different scenarios or positions. One here, as it shows you at the top, it's an aluminium folding pole, and it shows the camera here on its tripod form here. The next one, handle grip allows comfortable carrying, so you can have low down shots, but I'll show you that later. And you can use the multifunctional tripod stand during durable and stable. On the back here, it just basically shows you what you get in the box. Some little writing about the pole and that. And it extends in length from 5.9 inches to 19.3 inches. And add a tripod stand on there to give it a maximum reach or extension length of 26.5 inches. And as you can see, there's the various things you get in the box, which is the actual folding pole itself, the tripod, the phone mount, so you get a phone mount with it, the tripod mount, you get the GoPro tripod mount, thumb screw and lanyard. Now you can pick this up from Amazon for $28.99. Now this is what you get in the box. We get a leaflet about the actual pole itself and also any Smatree products, but this just shows you the different mounting options for the pole and positionings that you can do. So user guide. Next we have a nice type wing nut. Now I prefer these wing nuts because if you've got thick gloves on, you can tighten up your camera, your action camera, to the mount here very easily with this, because of these wings that extend out from the actual thumb screw. So I like that kind of thumb screw. Next we have a lanyard, what you get, which has the Smatree logo and name written all over it, and also it has a wrist adjustment button here, so that's great. Next we have the actual Smatree mount, and this is made out of metal, and this is a GoPro mount, tripod mount, made out of metal with an incorporated nut in there as well, and a rubber base to it, which has the 1/4 inch thread. Brilliant, I like that, what Smatree has done with that. And we have a phone mount, which is plastic and spring loaded. Nothing on the back here, but we have rubber here, rubber grips there, and rubber grips at the top and either side. And as I said, spring loaded, and that's your phone holder mount here. And now we have the Smatree tripod legs. Now I know you can't really roughly see it on this, but I have medium sized hands, and that is it's very big, and there's some weight to it. The whole thing is made out of metal with rubber feet, ends on there, so, and has a 1/4 inch thread at the top along with a rubber platform base, and that its spread is very, I'll show you there, is very big. Its footprint is very big. So I like what Smatree has done with that. They're giving you such a great tripod legs, really great, and weighted as well, and folds down, well, spreads out very wide as well. And now we have the actual pole or foldable pole itself. It folds out. Now each section, the actual length is 6 inches long, so each foldable section is 6 inches. This is the main section here, the thickest part here, and that has a 1/4 inch thread, so you can attach it obviously to the tripod legs here, or even to the lanyard, so you can just lanyard it from here and just use the fixed section here as a handle. The next, I'll bypass the other 2 sections because them are just folding, them are just arm sections here, but I'll go to the top one here. This top arm, which has the Smatree name on there, is the platform that you can mount your camera to. Now, if you've got things like a Yi camera or the SJ cameras with their built-in 1/4 inch female threads to them, you can just mount it straight to this platform here. But for GoPros and that, you're going to have to mount this mount to the top, and you simply screw that on. And to tighten it, if I release it out, and to tighten it, we have this screw here, which you can either fit a coin in there or a screwdriver, or you can flip this little handle here, hold down the top, and just simply turn to fasten that in, which is great from Smatree. Now each section here has a series of teeth, and you loosen these nuts here, which are made out of metal. The whole entire thing, just in case you're wondering, is made out of aluminium, and as you can see, each arm has these teeth. I'll try and get that in focus. Has these teeth, so you can actually close down or adjust to whatever angle that you want. Now the overall length of this pole from the bottom to the very top, excluding the camera, is 26.5 inches in length. Now I normally say to you, going by the end of the mount here to the top of the handle is the true extension length, but I don't need to do that because they are right when it comes to this, as I showed you earlier on in the video. From the top of the mount here to the top of the handle is 19.5 or 19.3 inches, sorry, 19.3 inches in length between these 2 points. So this is one of the only manufacturers, I have to state, actual measurements that they have actually counted from the top of the handle, excluding the handle stroke legs, to the mount. So now the thing with this pole is, you've got to bear it in mind, unlike other poles where they can just simply be pulled out and either have their initial locking systems, which is either a tab or a simple twist lock, or you twist the whole item, the whole pole in a certain direction to lock it in, or even the old-fashioned type car area ones when you just pull it out and friction locks it. With this one, you have to rely on these here, these nuts. Now there are teeth on there, which I'd showed you before here. It's hard to pick it up on camera, but they are teeth there, so you can lock it not only in a straight position like this, but you can lock it also in a bent position wherever you need the bend. Now, I'm now going to be asked this, is this pole suitable for action sports? If you're somebody like a cross-country runner or something like that, and you want to run with a pole, bear this in mind. I know it's aluminium and it's not like a circular type pole, there's a bit of weight to this, but you can get away with that. If you're somebody that's going to be using it on a mountain bike or a scrambler bike, or you're going to be skiing, I personally think this is not a pole to take, because the weakest sections of this pole are going to be these joins. Now, you could say that about other poles, but at least with other poles, they're cylindrical and they're less likely to break within those bits there. This, because it uses this kind of screw, the screw points there, to me, it seems to me, what I think is that they're going to break at these bits there. Now, you can get each section, you can buy these from Smatree. They do sell each section. Now, I couldn't find the sections on Amazon, but I take it that Smatree do sell them. Now, this is how it looks with the tripod mount on the Smatree X1s. Now, I've always been asked which is the better selfie stick tripod with the mobile phone, and because I showed you earlier on in the video that it comes with this, the phone mount, this is one of the better ones, and I'll explain why. First of all, the feet or tripod legs that they give you with this selfie stick or pole is very, very good. The actual footprint this thing lays out is very, very wide. It's one of the widest I've come across, and it sits quite low to the ground as well. I could just about get my hand underneath there, so it sits quite low, and they're made out of metal and they're weighted, so there are some weight to them legs. Also, the pole, because it uses this kind of folding out style extension, I'll turn it to the side. It has these holes at the side here, obviously to keep it more lightweight, but with these holes there, great for outside, because the wind will just pass through this. It's less likely for the wind to get caught, an area for the wind to hit. The wind will just pass through there. I like the top here, which they provide on the last one here, that I've put it at an angle here, but you can mount this at an angle, at a set angle if you want, different to the rest of the pole, so you don't have to rely on the actual GoPro style mount at the top to angle your camera. Now, this is how it looks with the phone holder on, and as you can see, and I'll turn it to the side there, you don't have to have this part outstretched. I wouldn't have it outstretched. I have that platform at an angle there. And a good tip is, if you're going to have this outstretched, obviously the whole thing extended out like that, for added security, which you probably don't need anyway, I would have that arm at 90 degrees to the ground and have that main arm over one of the legs, like so. And that will guarantee this will not tip over even in the wind. As I said, it needs a severe gale to tip that over, but that's how it looks when you set up with the phone, with a phone holder. Now, you can also use this if you wanted it fully out straight, so you didn't want this arm at that angle at all, to make this out straight. And this is how it looks fully out straight. So that arm, which I showed you before, was at 90 degrees, like so, and that's how it looks fully out straight. So if you want it fully out straight, you'll have to attach this piece here, that piece here, and I'll show you up to the camera, needs to be fastened on the back of the phone holder. So instead of using the actual hole at the bottom, the 1/4 inch thread at the bottom, you're going to be using the one at the back here to make it out straight, and this still will not blow over. Now, with this particular so I'd say selfie stick tripod, right? With this particular selfie stick tripod, you can put it in different configurations. Now, if you want low shots with your mobile phone, so that's using the phone mount here, so you'll attach the phone mount to the mount here at the bottom, the phone mount. you can get, or with your camera, action camera of any description, so it's a Yi camera, SJ cam, or even your point and shoot cameras can fit on there as well. You can hold it in, you can figure it out in this configuration. Now there is literally loads of configurations you can make this pole be in. Now I ain't going to show you all of them because it's pointless me showing you all the different configurations, because that is up to you how you want to configure it. But that's, I'm just saying the versatility with this particular pole, you can have it, you could take low shots, high shots. Now this is how it looks if you're not putting the pole on there and you're just going to put the camera with the Smatree GoPro attachment, tripod attachment, which you get straight onto the legs. Now the same can be done with the phone holder as well. You could just put the phone holder on there with your phone the same way. Now this is my 2p worth on the Smatree Smapole X1s. I think this is one of the greatest poles I've ever come across, and very unique. If you're somebody starting out with a GoPro or an action camera or even something for your smartphone, this is a very good all-in-one solution for different poles. If you want vlogging poles, a pole to vlog with, or pole to do action shots with, this is a great pole, a very good and an excellent idea Smatree has come up with this. I like how you don't have to use each section. You can just simply reattach this top section to any of these sections. So even if you're doing vlogging and you just want a small handle, I'd use the thicker part at the bottom and just simply remove this top and connect it down there. And then you've got a nice little short vlogging handle to hold your camera, whether it's a GoPro, your phone mount, your phone on the phone mount, or even your point and shoot camera. Another thing I really do like about this is, and which I do get questions a lot about, is it a pole suitable to be placed outside with its legs spread? This is brilliant. It will take a gale, as I showed you earlier on in the video, when you've got the phone mount or when you've got an action camera on there. It will take a gale force wind to blow this over, because the spread of these legs are so wide and sit so low to the ground. So its center of gravity to me is low, it's quite low to the ground. And because they've got these holes in the actual folding pole itself, the wind would just pass right through. There's nothing for the wind to actually grab a hold of. So this is absolutely brilliant for that. Now, I may be asked whether it's good to take in the water with this. Personally, I would not take this in the water. Even with the lanyard attachment on the end, I wouldn't take this into the water personally. Especially seawater. I really couldn't tell you how seawater would react with this. And I would just get a dedicated floating pole for that. If you take that into the sea or into a pool, just get a dedicated plastic pole. I have done videos on bobbers and plastic poles. Now, even though I sung praises about the greatness of this pole, there is a couple of negatives, and I'll go through each one. The first negative is the weight. Don't get me wrong, this ain't something that is really heavy, but there is some weight to this, so bear it in mind. If you remove the legs off the bottom and don't have this handle, just use the thick part here as the handle with the lanyard attached, then you're all right, it becomes lighter. But bear it in mind, with the legs on, there is some weight, and that excludes with your camera or phone mount on the top of this pole. So that excludes that, so there is some weight to this. Another one here is the phone mount at the top. I like how Smatree has given you a metal mount, tripod mount here. That's really good. But the only thing is, when assembling this, they should have put a line on the mount itself, just a line, and a line on the platform as well. So when you're assembling this, all you had to do was match the two lines up to get this straight, to fix your camber straight. That would quick the time to assemble this part. Would have made it really perfect. Another disadvantage is if you're doing any kind of action sports where you're going to take a tumble, where the chances are you're going to take a tumble or a fall, whether it's on mountain biking or skiing, etc. You may bend this. I don't know how actual strong it is, how the strength of this thing is, but the chances are, because of these points here, you could break with these points. Now, you could say the same thing with any other pole, but at least with a cylindrical pole with the kind of clip systems on there, it's less chances of them parts breaking than with these parts that rely on a screw. So to me, if you're doing cross-country running and that, you could probably get away with this, even though I said about the weight. If you remove the legs and just have this part along with the lanyard, for cross-country running or anything like that, or walking or anything when it's action sports that you don't have to take a tumble, then you're all right with this. But things like the chances you're gonna take a bad fall, or there's a tumble which is bad, this is not an action pole to go with. Now, that's my conclusion, or my 2 pence worth about this pole. It's a nice, neat, all-rounder pole, and as I says before, if you're looking for those particularly unique shots, you can get unique angles with this particular pole, and it's basically an all-in-one, really. So it's a great pole to have. Now, if you happen to have this particular pole, or even the X1, which is the predecessor to this one, please leave a note down in the comment section below what your thoughts about this pole is, because your opinion may be different to my opinion. So please leave that down in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I can perfectly understand. I know my videos are long. I like to be thorough, to say you the trouble in buying this, and if you bought it, at least you know what to expect, and you can say to yourself, that guy on the YouTube, he was right, this was bad about it, or this was good about it, he was right. I like to save you that. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.